So today we're taking a quick look at the brand new Terminator Zero anime, which is currently 8 episodes in its first season, and as usual this is a spoiler-free review, which unfortunately limits a lot that I can say about the anime because of its delivery format. So if you've seen any Terminator, then you're likely familiar with how integral time travel is to its overall narrative. The same thing is true for the anime, but what differentiates this and really gives it its own identity is how heavily it leans into the time travel element. And, compared to everything else that I've seen, which is the first 4 Terminator movies and also the first series, I don't know exactly how much exists, but that's what I've seen. This leans into it so much that it feels like the comparison of the plot progression between the two is that every other Terminator that I've seen sports a linear plot progression, where this one is almost feels non-linear because you've got characters in different timelines and different time periods, and they're giving you these puzzle pieces of exposition that you're trying to piece together in your head to create some semblance of understanding of the story that you're watching. And it's really clear that the creators of this anime have a very intricate and detailed vision for the story that they're trying to tell. And my problem is that first of all, it's only 8 episodes long, so it's clearly impossible to get to what I would consider to be a good stopping point within 8 episodes, and also, I didn't find it to be that enjoyable consistently. I really liked the second half of it, but for the first half, I was confused, I was a little frustrated, and I was honestly bored by the first 4 episodes. Yes, there's a lot of action elements in it, but for me, the action elements are almost exactly what I expected out of Terminator, so it's not like I was shocked by that. And I feel like characters, because they're doing so much in the 8 episodes that they have here, I felt like the characters were the biggest sacrifice simply because there are so many of them. I would say maybe there's 5 or 6 characters that are relevant to the story here, and about half of them are just gliding by on a singular personality trait, and those are the most important characters. Everyone else is just kind of there. The most interesting thing about the characters, bar none, is going to be what is their connection to the story in the different timelines, because it really is this interwoven web between all these timelines, and you get a little taste of that as you continue in the second half of this, but it's definitely something for the first half. You're going to feel like, who are these characters? Why are they special? Why am I supposed to care about them? And that's the way that I felt about this. And I also felt that the plot was really bland for the first half as well, because the children of the protagonists get into this situation where they get lost. And the catalyst for them getting lost is just because they bought a toy cat. And then you've got the protagonist, their father, he is in this almost one-sided conversation with AI for seemingly the first half of the anime, and it really gets into this part where it takes itself far too seriously than it needs, where it gets into all of this existentialism. Why does humanity exist? What is our reason for existing? Why do we justify our own existence and everything? And it really is something that I felt like, if you've got 8 this is why the 8 episode format doesn't work for this particular anime, because it's just too much. To touch back on what I said about the action earlier, there is quite a lot of action in the anime, and the action is pretty well done, and it is very faithful to what you would expect out of the Terminator universe. Plus, they also do something that's a little unique here, where the Terminator goes back in time and makes several modifications to his body using technology that's indicative to their time. Thought it was animated nicely, and, it was pretty fun. But in my opinion, because I see this more as a mystery and also as a story that's to be told, I would place the action as being a supplementary element to the mystery, to the exposition, the time travel, and also the characters. And I felt a lot of that stuff needed a lot of work, at least in the first half. So moving on to my score and recommendation, I give Terminator Zero Season 1 a 6 out of 10. And I know that's pretty low, but it is right at my threshold for a good anime. It's just that even though there's a lot of good qualities to this, I've already explained all the reasons why I felt like I should have enjoyed it more, especially considering that I'm probably the prime target audience for this anime, considering I like both Terminator and anime, and this is the nexus between those two. I should have enjoyed it more, and I really feel like if Terminator Zero is going to be remembered and enjoyable, then it's solely reliant on coming seasons. So it's really up in the air, and I can't rate or review an anime based on future expectations or potential or anything like that. Because I've seen a lot of anime, and you know, there are countless times that we just never get a second season, or if we do, we have to wait a few years. So it's hard to say, and I'm just calling it how I see it for the first season. So as for my recommendation, I would say to get the most out of Season 1 of Terminator Zero, you should watch it right before watching Season 2. And I say that for numerous reasons, because A, even if you are a Terminator fan and you do really enjoy a lot that this anime has to offer, you'll probably forget all of the different nuances of its story, and you'll need to rewatch it before getting into Season 2, whenever that comes out. So just save yourself the time and watch Season 1 right before Season 2. So I would say that if you're not into Terminator, or if you've never seen any of the Terminator movies, I'm not saying that it can't be enjoyed, but I'm just saying you're most likely to enjoy it when there's future content available. So for the time being, I would just point your attention towards some of the other more recent, more enjoyable science fiction anime, such as the Pluto anime. I gave that a 10 out of 10. I always recommend people watch Astro Boy first, but a lot of people do enjoy it by itself. It is a very good, very suspenseful, amazing anime on so many levels. And I would also point your attention to Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and because that's another really good one from recently that I reviewed. I think I gave that one a 9 out of 10. I could be wrong. I know it's not a recent anime, but my recommendations graphic has 3 slots, so I'm going to tell you to watch Black Magic M66, simply because it really draws a lot of inspiration from the old Terminator movies, and you basically get a Terminator using Kung Fu in it, and it's a pretty fun watch, and it's pretty short too, so check it out. So anyways, what did you think of Terminator Zero? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon with either a discussion video or my beginner's guide to the Zatoichi series. I know it's not an anime, but it is something that I wanted to cover ever since I reviewed Sabo Toichi, considering its similarities. So I'll see you then. Have an awesome week.